Wes?
Rodney, it looked like on film, at least from the game, that we could see that Elijah Simmons was pretty active in that game on Saturday. What led to that? What did you think of his performance overall?
Well, I mean, obviously, I think he's getting healthier. He had a good spring. He was having a good camp until he got hurt. And then he was out, to mid-season. So, just getting himself back in shape and just becoming more consistent. And I thought he probably did play his best game he's played since we've been here. So, there's still much room for improvement. I think he knows that. So he's just got to keep pressing and pick up where he left off.
Ryan and Casey?
It's a lot of the same faces for Missouri's passing offense this year. Just how have you seen them watching tape improve from last year to this year?
Well, obviously, Missouri, I think when you look at him, the first thing starts with the quarterback. He's a really good football player. He has really good command presence. He can, he can lead. He can throw the ball. And he's elusive. He can run. He puts a lot of stress on you. So starting with him, and then you look at your receiving core. Those are some special guys that he's got out there. To throw the ball to. You look at number 3, number 1. 7 and 5. They got a group of guys that are real good football players that he does a really good job of throwing the ball to. And obviously their offense is very diverse and does a really good job there. Number 7, the running back. He's a physical, tough guy that does a really good job of running behind his pads. He brings his own blocker. And they're doing a good job of playing team offense. If you ask me.
During fall camp, you had mentioned that sometimes with Elijah Simmons, he shows up wearing his old number, I believe it was 55, and sometimes it's number 10 that shows up at practice. As the season has gone on, have you seen it be more at number 10 and be more of that new guy that he wanted to be, show up throughout the season?
Well, obviously, Elijah was out most of the season, so he wasn't even out there with me. He was with the training room. So, since he's been back, it's just been, getting himself back into shape. Obviously, for a guy to be out, 7, 8 weeks, you really worry about, especially a big guy that's had a history of struggling, with gaining weight and all that. We were pleased that he didn't let it just get out of control. But still, it was still the same thing about, getting himself back into, playing shape, So, it's different in running with the trainers and strength staff and all that, and getting out there actually practicing, doing the strain of football related type things. So, obviously, I think he's more dialed in, he's more in tune to what he's trying to accomplish, and so he's been more attentive to details, and hopefully that's just going to carry over and continue to build. That he's getting a body of work that he wants to build upon it. I know he feels good about himself. I think he felt good about how he played, this past Saturday. So hopefully he'll go and start stacking good on top of good, and that we don't, ride a roller coaster.
Coach,
In the Rob?
your guys did a great job at Kentucky against the run against Davis. He's a great back. You just mentioned you're facing another good back this week. What's the key up front to tightening up against the run and trying to stop it?
Well, obviously, coming into the game, Kentucky had one of the most prolific run games that we had faced up until that point. The running back was averaging almost 6 yards a carry. So we really put a big emphasis on it. Just trying to create a new line of scrimmage, trying to play more vertical, trying to force them to make jump cuts prior to what they were. So the same thing with this guy. They're very similar, but this guy may be just a tad more physical, where the guy in Kentucky was faster. But I think they both do a really good job of pressing the blocks, and then just finding the soft spot, get squaring up the shoulders, get downhill. So we've got to do a great job of playing vertical, create knockback. We got to be able to tear up blocks. We got to keep our pads square. We got to tackle. We can't miss tackles. All the little things when it comes down to playing in this conference. Just play a great, sound, fundamental game.
Coach, you've been around this league a long time. 3 years ago, when you guys got here, until now, you're the top run defense of the SEC at this point. Can you just talk about the evolution, what it took to get this journey where you were when you got here to today.
Well, obviously, you know, I think that's, you know, compliments to the young men in the program that have bought into what we've been preaching. You know, we're blessed, you know, to have some really good young men. You know, I think, you know, they were, you know, guys have been beaten down. You know, it's been a long time since, you know, Tennessee have been back, you know, to the elite status that Tennessee's used to. So, you know, obviously, you know, for those guys that started out with us in the first year, you know, for us to, you know, win 7, you know, games, I thought that was great. And turn around and back it up with last year, just seeing the improvement. I think they're taking more pride into, getting the program back to where it belongs. And then, you know, these kids are bought into it. They're doing the little things. Leadership's starting to show up in the locker room, which I think anytime in this league that you have a good program, you know, it needs to be peer led. You know, obviously, you know, we don't mind leading as coaches, but you know, we have to be honest with ourselves. You know, for it to be really effective, we need the kids to buy into it, and we need the kids to hold each other accountable. And I think our guys have done a much better job of doing that. And you know, not having to start over, you know, day one every day. You know, that we're able to move the needle and pick up where we left off. And still, guys, we got a long ways to go. I mean, we all know that. We got to continue to improve in all facets of our game. And you know, we can't ever become, you know, satisfied. Not like that we did anything to be satisfied with. But you know, we've got to keep working hard to try to improve every day.
Last question, Patrick.
Coach, you guys are still near the top of the SEC in sacks, but just won in each of the last 2 games. Coach Banks talked last week about how you guys are getting maybe more attention from your pass rush, whether it's max protect, chip, things like that. How do you work through that with your guys during the week to help them sort of overcome maybe extra attention they're getting from other teams that are trying to take that away from you
We
guys?
just got to strain. I mean, you know, obviously we got to strain. You know, the ball's coming out quick. They're max protecting. They're chipping. That's part of football. You know, so you know we got to just continue to work on our fundamentals and you know pre-snap see some things better. You know where the back and the tight ends lined up. Expect the chip. You know, being able to chip the chipper. Just do different things. You know, from a fundamental standpoint to be more efficient in what we're doing. You know, that's part of it. That's respect. I'm glad people do respect us. And so now we gotta, you know, get better.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.